Donc nous avons la chance d'avoir, vous entendez beaucoup parler de Toyota, vous entendez parler des sensei. Nous avons aujourd'hui, Isao Yoshino nous fait la grande amitié de venir vous présenter, vous verrez ce que c'est qu'un sensei de chez Toyota, avec une question fondamentale. Qu'est-ce qui fait que Toyota est une entreprise différente? Où est cette potion magique qui fait que sans la potion magique, on peut copier, comme disait Dan, on peut copier tous les systèmes de Toyota, on peut mettre exactement la même taille des papiers, etc. D'ailleurs, très difficile à faire parce qu'il n'y a pas deux usines Toyota pareilles. Et d'ailleurs, très difficile à faire parce que même dans une usine, il n'y a pas de département pareil. Mais de comprendre où est cette potion magique, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont inventé qui est si spécial. Mais je vous remercie d'accueillir Isao Yoshino sur le rôle des managers Toyota. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want me to stay and push the button?
Yeah. Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Isao Yoshino. I'm from Japan, obviously. And okay, I am now working Nagoya Gakuin University. This is my second career because I retired Toyota 2004, and I worked for Toyota 40 to 41 years, and retired. And then, for proper reasons, Nagoya Gakuin University picked me up, and I started teaching over there last 10 years. And I retired 2 years ago, but I'm still teaching, and. So again, so this is important. I am no expert. Don't expect me to give you any secret or expertise to you. No, I am no expert on anything. Just I spent 40 years within Toyota, and I got soaked in Toyota culture, good and bad. So I would like to share my own experience to you, what we do at Toyota. Well, I'm retired of Toyota, but we Toyota. So it becomes part of me because spending 40 years is not short for me to just change and to think and act and behave like all the rest of the Toyota people. So today I'm going to share some of the key concepts that we believe is very valuable to run the company. Particularly, I would like to focus on the manager's role and responsibilities. So as I said, I'm no Kaizen expert, so don't ask any question about how to improve something. No, I cannot do that because I have no knowledge, no nothing. So, but I've been a manager for a certain period of time, so I know how Toyota people are doing to nurture their subordinates. We have 4 items. First one is establish and attain target. Needless to say, this is extremely important. As you know, we call it management by objectives. This concept is we introduced this concept from the United States, probably in the 60s. And when Dr. Deming came over to Japan to teach all those quality control concept, and so I think it was in the early 60s. And all the manufacturers in Japan working so hard to learn all those key things from Dr. Deming and his group. And probably the first one is Bridgestone. You know the Bridgestone tire? By the way, Bridgestone means bridge, stone. So bridge is bridge and stone is stone. And Mr. Ishibashi, which name is Stone Bridge. So he changed his first part of his last name and switches and Bridgestone. That's how he named his company. It's very interesting. Anyway, so Bridgestone was the first, and then Panasonic also one of the first early companies to introduce that Hoshin Kanri or all those quality control systems, and Toyota followed. And today, subtitle of today, I saw this memo from Catherine that my title is What Makes Toyota Different from the Rest of the Companies. So Toyota is not so much different from the rest of the companies. We with the same Japanese, look like Japanese, talk like Japanese. But what makes us different is that we do things just like other companies do, but only difference is that we do things very, very thoroughly. If we believe this is important, we do over and over again, over deeper and deeper, and repeatedly until it becomes our habit. So that makes a lot of difference. So there is many people, when I have seminars in Japan, many people just wanted to hear from me some secret of success of Toyota. And we don't know any secret. If you ask any Toyota people, including me, what is the secret of Toyota? No, we have no idea. Not because we don't want to disclose it, but we don't know. Because all we do, I'm gonna show you is the secrets. So there is no secret. Which is the secret? So anyway, management objective. You already know all the key things. So most important thing is that managers or higher managers should be very serious about setting the goal and also setting the goal and also establishing the action plans to attain the goal. And in that process, bosses always try to discuss with their subordinate, because boss is high up there, and bosses does not do the daily work, but their subordinate do the daily work. So subordinate knows better than anybody else, than bosses. Sometimes boss try to make some decision by himself. Maybe he makes mistakes in small part. So he has to work together in order to attain the goal. Of course, deciding the goal should start with the bosses, but in the process of finalizing the goal, he has to talk with the subordinate and ask them to bring in all the other plans and opinions, then finalize it. So through the discussion, that is mostly highly valued within Toyota. And of course, mission is not necessarily target or goal, but mission is something that you would like to some situation that you would like to accomplish. Sometimes, like we want to be the most respected company in the world, something like that. So it's a target, but it's a mission. Or we would like to contribute to the development, to the enhancement, or whatever. Also, sometimes it's vague, but it's okay because it's a mission. Then it goes down all the way to the lowest group from top management. And within Toyota, I need to say, but top management make that decision and target. Then each division, highest rank of group decision managers or key leaders set their own target, depending on the division, like sales marketing division, or production division, or PR division, human resource division, technical development division. So all these divisions set their own goal. And so they set, of course, those targets should be aligned with the target, with the company's target. And so it goes down all the way to the lowest. So that is how it works. And the reason why I show this boat is because if you have 4 or 5, boaters, and if one of the guys is not doing together with the same way, if he has stronger, right hand is too stronger, the boat goes this way. So you have to watch, you have to work together, you have to just use the same length, same strength to row the boat and work together and in a good harmony. So that is that very important point. Keeping the harmony means that good discussion, also mutual understanding and agree, and so aiming at the same North Star. That is the most important thing. Next, please. And another thing is that, okay, this is one of the kind of an extreme example, because the Shinkansen is a bullet train in Japan. And it was built in 1964. At the time, Japan Japan had planned to have Olympic Games in Tokyo, so 1964. So a couple of years ago, maybe 4, 5, no, more than that. 5, 6, 7 years ago, Japanese government decided to build this Shinkansen route, Shinkansen railway from Tokyo to Osaka. It's not an easy job to do because there is not so much land available for these railroads because you may know that Japan is an island country, also lots of mountains. 75% is forest, so trees, forest. Of course, you can live over there, but it's not flat, it's hilly, so you cannot make a road, build a road so easily. So you have to dig down tunnels, all the things. So Shinkansen project is a new big challenge for Japanese and the Japanese government. So they set some target, okay, Shinkansen, and build the Shinkansen. It should be in time for the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games, which is in October 10th. So this target is set. We cannot argue this because it's a national target. So they set target maximum speed 250 kilometers per hour, which is not a big deal right now. You have Shinkansen, but at the time, 1960s, when was it? 50 years ago? Not 50 years ago. So long time, 250 years, just like a dream. However, it was a must. And target is Tokyo, Osaka, because of the speed, 3 hours. 3 hours is short enough for you to just get on the Shinkansen from Osaka and go to Tokyo, have a meeting, maybe 2, 3 meetings there, come back to Osaka again. So you can make a day trip over there. So this changed the business style a lot, 3 hours. The most importantly, third target is development period, just 5 years. But 5 years not only to building this Shinkansen technology, but no, you have to buy out all the road, all the land area for putting the rails. It's not easy because the Japanese, all those 25% of the remaining land is owned by private people. So the Japanese government have to buy out all those, land. So it's not easy, but they have to finish it in 5 years. So three big target is so difficult, so almost seemingly impossible target. But one of the officials, high-rank officials, highest-ranking officials, his name is Kakumoto-san. Mr. Kakumoto, for some reason, I became not friend, but I became to know him. And one day we invited him to talk about these efforts. Then he said, it was almost impossible target, but it's almost. So it's not impossible. So he tried to pick up very unconventional staff members because who can think across the boundary, who can think something strange, something very different. So otherwise you cannot attain this goal because it's just seemingly impossible. So this is one of the target, one of the extreme example of the target setting. And to make a long story short, this Shinkansen was established and finished. Everything was finished. Oh, everything was finished in time. Any of you have been to Japan before? Oh, okay. You know what? One of the good things about Japan, one of the bad things, the same thing, but Japanese people are very, very detailed and very punctual, too punctual. Shinkansen should start on time. Not on time if it leaves 9:45, it leaves 9:45, not 9:46, 9:44, no, just on time. And that is the way we think, the punctuality, something like that. So anyways, for those people, it was very, very difficult. Next, please. And again, this is not unusual, but in order to attain the goal, in some companies, the boss may decide those target, and in most cases, bosses have more experience than anybody else. That's why they become a boss. Most likely they are older, so the older you are, the more experience you receive. So sometimes, in many cases, those bosses, okay, this is the goal we have to attain, you guys. And then sometimes bosses are so experienced. So why don't you use this process, use this approach in order to attain this goal? Sometimes, I'm not talking about Toyota. Some of the managers, many of the managers in other companies, bosses tell their subordinate target and also the process or approach should be taken to attain the goal. So sometimes you can get the result much faster because the boss has been, experienced that process. However, there should be many ways to attain the goal. And within Toyota, boss does not ask subordinate or does not tell subordinate to everything. Target, how to do that. No, just only target to attain, maybe also time limit. What is the goal? When this should be finished. So then the process, how to approach the target. Bosses ask the subordinate to come up from them because that is the best way to nurture the creativity and the creativity of the employees, because as I said, all the employees, all the subordinates, work on their own jobs every single day. So they know much better than their bosses. So there are some problems, they know some problems, they know some good advantages, all those things. So they can create different kind of processes to reach their own goal. So this is simple. However, this is so important for bosses to how to assign the job to their subordinate. And this is what we do within Toyota. So long time ago, I talked with John Shook, earlier in Boston, and he was talking about his time working together with me, and he called me Kacho. Kacho is a section manager. So in Japanese, we don't call your bosses the first name. We don't do that. Title. So Kacho, Bucho, Cho means chief. So I was a Kacho for John Shook. So John said, okay, Kacho, I don't remember, but I have never, you have never given me how to attain the goal process I have to take to attain the goal. You always give me, this is target, John. You only give me the target. However, you have never given me any approach, way that you have experienced. Well, you just let me do whatever I want to do, so which is good. So John really enjoyed the way he's treated. Not treated, but he is taken care of. So that's that's Toyota style. Okay. Second one is attitude. Dr. John was talking about gemba. So the word gemba is now becoming an English word. And go-to gemba is so important. And so this guy, maybe this guy does not want us to go to the gemba. He wants to judge everything. He wants to make all the decisions and everything at his desk over there. He's sticking to his chair all day, so just waiting for the report to come in. But within Toyota, always, bosses, everybody just always, whenever they have some questions or they want to know something, we always go to gemba. So go to gemba. Gemba means the place where things are happening. So in the manufacturing area, of course, gemba is the place in the shop floor. But for the office people, for example, if I want to make a research on certain things, then gemba is the place where the information is created. So some other companies, if you want to get some information from like Panasonic, for example, then Instead of calling them, I just bring myself to Panasonic companies and meet with the people and talk, spend some time together with them who create that information. Then it's face-to-face talk will help you to get more knowledge, more information. Also, what are the things behind those information? So go-to Gemba will help you to get real information, which you cannot see, you cannot get by reading books or information or even website. A website sometimes, Wikipedia, many people use Wikipedia, but sometimes it's not so much objective sometimes. So every time we try to use that expression, we always double check whether that is true or not by checking the first origin. So this go-to Gemba is not necessarily applied for the shop floor, but it can be applied to everywhere. And so Gemba means now Gemba is can be applied to production site, and also coming over here is go-to Gemba concept, because Catherine and Michael just asked me to come. Why don't you come over to Lyon next year? It was April last year. So I wanted to meet with people from France or Lyon, and then so I came over here and talked with you guys. Then I learned more about your country, about your people, about the difference between, because I spent 14 years in the United States, so I know a little bit about American people, but I know nothing about French people. So now coming to Gemba, like today, this week, it's a great opportunity for me to get to know how French people think, how French people behave, how French people talk, and how French people just deal with things. Okay. Thank you. Problems. Problems means, sometimes problems is a bad thing, so maybe failure or something. And in most cases, if you make mistakes, you have some problem, most cases you don't want to just reveal unless you have to. So sometimes you make mistakes, you want to hide it, and you don't want your boss know about it, of course. But within Toyota, it's extremely, completely different. Problem happens, failure happens. You make mistakes, we make mistakes. We are human, so we make mistakes. We are not perfect. So problems happen. That is what we believe. Of course, everybody believes problem happens. But within Toyota, it's okay, problem happens. And sometimes you can control, sometimes you cannot control. And in most cases, problems happen when you cannot control. So we always believe that problem happens. Then most important thing is, of course, to prevent from problem happening. However, most important thing is when problem happens, it's so important at Toyota that to bring it up and open it up and share it with the people, share it with your boss, and talk about it, then bring in all the available idea together and solve the problem. The reason why is because we can bring in all the idea from all the members, and then create a better idea and use that action plan to other departments, to other cases, in case same thing happens. So we call it Yokoten, Y-O-K-O-T-E-N. Yokoten means transfer some idea or concept to other department, and so that they can use that idea to their own work. So Yoko means vertical. And it's crazy expression, but we always, top management, okay, did you do Yokoten of this idea? So we use all the work. So this problem happens, and it's a keyword. And also, no problem is problem. This is a very famous, popular expression. And probably the first first time we heard this expression, I think John Shook, when I was the training manager of New Me, which is joint venture, and I hired John Shook, and he worked so hard. He's a great, he did a great job. And after they start manufacturing, then by request, I sent John Shook to the New Me, which is, New Me is a joint venture. And a long time ago, it's 84, and I sent John Shook to Fremont, California, and to help them to improve and to make Kaizen. Then he had a chance to watch the conversation between Japanese coordinator, which is the general manager level, and American manager. He heard the same conversation. John Shook heard that American workers, American high-rank managers, okay, Mr. Uchikawa-san, Japanese guy, he asked American guys, okay, how things are going? Everything is okay? He said, everything is okay. We have no problem. But it's the beginning of the production startup, so there should be so many millions of problems. So Uchikawa-san was so not necessarily mad, but he told me, okay, there should be a problem. So there is a problem, so tell me all the problem. So that is the first time, John said that first time he remembers he heard this, this expression. Now this is a kind of one of the Bible. So within Toyota, no problem is a problem. Because why Toyota people just like this idea? Why New Me people or ex-GM people don't like it, don't want to review the problem? Major reason is because if you make mistakes, GM days, if they make mistakes, then that is a good reason for managers to fire. So they want to hide it. They don't want to admit that they make mistakes. So, but within Toyota, if you make mistakes, if you fail something, then I make so many mistakes, by the way. So many failures. However, I was so happy to bring it up to upper level to talk to my managers and discuss. Admit that, okay, boss, I made mistakes, Then, one of the first questions my boss asked is that he did not blame me. Why it happened? So then I found out, oh, he's not blaming me. He wants to know how it happened. Then he wants to know the reason why it happened, the problem happened. So then I start talking about all those situations. Then he tried to focus on the reason, core reason of the problem. And so he does not even think about me or think about anybody. He just wants to focus on the cause of the problem. So, okay, so in that case, I found out that, okay, this is one of the great culture within Toyota. Blaming somebody, when you get a boss, you become a boss, and you believe that, oh, I'm great. So you want to use your authority. So when your subordinate bring you some of the bad news, then he's mad, and because it's gonna affect his career. But within Toyota, no. Bosses who accept all the problem that bring you up and solve the problem together with the subordinate and get a better idea, then the boss is evaluated higher than anybody else. So that is the concept within Toyota. So this problem is becoming so important concept. Okay, next one. This is very simple, but it requires some explanation. Okay, this is the result. This side the result. So no good result. Which is better result. This vertical one is process, the approach way or how to bring in the results. So poor process, better process. So look at this space of that circled by a brown one. if the process is very good, however, for a couple of reasons, sometimes you cannot get a good result. It happens because there are so many reasons that affect to bring in a good result. Sometimes process is very great. However, sometimes you don't have any good result. But it's okay. Triangle is okay. Of course, circle, double circle is great. So triangle plus means it's okay, good, good. Of course, good process, good product. That's perfect. That's ideal, but it doesn't happen all the time. The problem is that if the process is terrible, not terrible, but it's bad, well, not well prepared, or just come up idea, we just did not think, give a big thought. But sometimes bad process, still you can get a good result. So this is triangle minus, which is not okay. It's okay, but not so okay, because it will not be repeated. It will not repeat again. You cannot repeat it again. So this is upper the triangle plus is by luck. And that is, of course, good. So that upper side process, good process, will eventually bring you good result. So this concept and the problem happens, those type of concepts together. Toyota employees are very, very, very happy to be given opportunity, to consider their own process, own approach system to attain the goal, and more chance, more freedom to think about their own style. So that creates the sense of, creativity will be nurtured in that type of management system. Next, please. Okay, this is. Are you familiar with Japanese writing? Okay, this one so straight. This one katakana. Okay, we have. When you graduate from high school, you are supposed to remember how many was you need to memorize about 28, 29, 26 plus some French. So 26, no, 28. How many words you have to memorize to be an adult, to be an adult in a society in Japan? Can you guess? 21? 2096. You know, you have to memorize 2,000 Chinese character, because we have three kinds. Chinese character, 2,000 you have to memorize to become an okay adult. Okay. Another one is hiragana is developed in probably the 8th century, and we copied from Chinese character because it's more simplified form from Chinese character. Because Chinese character, so many strokes, and you get the memory. So the Japanese people, those days Japanese people so smart, they just take out some of the portion of the Chinese character and create. We call it hiragana. It's a Japanese invention. Probably that was the first invention of Japanese people. And so it's 48. And it starts from a to n, a. Anyway, 48. Then another third one is this straight strokes. It's easier. We call it katakana. Another 48. So 2096. You have to memorize. To write some nice letters, because we have to combine Chinese character, hiragana character, and katakana. So anyway, so that's Toyota. Toyota started with Toyota because Toyota family, Toyota, T-O-Y-D-A, Toyota family started this business in 1938, no, 37. At the time, Toyota spells that means 2 dots. Okay, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2 dots. 10. See? In order to write Toyota, it requires 10 strokes. 10, and 10 means full. See, when you grade something from 1 to 10 or 5 to 10, 1 to 5, or 10 is full. Reach the goal. You already reached the goal. So 10 is full. You are top of the world. So then makes you feel like, oh, I'm great. I'm the king of the mountain. So no need to work harder because I'm already up there. So when they changed, Toyota become bigger. In a certain timing, Toyota was thinking of changing the company's name from family-related name to something else, which is easiest way to take out those 2 dots. The 2 dots. Oh, you see, 2 dots out, which makes 8 strokes. And what the meaning of this means? 8 stroke is still you have two notches to reach to 10. So you are not enough. You are still down there. You have 2 more things. So what this gives us a feeling that we are not the best yet. We have 4 runners already up there at 10. And just like if you run a marathon, if you are on the 4th or 5th or 5th or 6th, and 4 runners running in front of you, that is the best position, right? Because you can see how much tired the top runner is. You can see by the way they breathe, the way they run. So you can watch very carefully, and then you pick up the timing. You just pass over. So second or third follower is a great position. So they change from 10 strokes to 8 strokes. That makes Toyota to Toyota. By the way, this is my idea, and this is not approved. So I don't know whether it's okay to show you this one, but it's okay. I'm retired. So, but this is, and so more important thing is that Age Toyota, he's a giant. He's a great leader. He was a chairman. He said, being content with one current situation could be the first step toward corruption. And he said, when the Toyota is high up there, almost number 1. So he is warning to all the employees that, okay, don't be too happy with being the top because it's a corruption, beginning of the corruption. Yeah, we are talking about automobile business, and right, the Volkswagen number 1 and the sales number. Sales number last year, 2017, Volkswagen number 1. Number 2, who is the number 2? Do you have any idea? French company. Nissan. Nissan is a French company. Yeah, they are. So congratulations. But you know that Nissan Nissan bought out Mitsubishi. Nissan bought out some other company. So just they added the sales number and Nissan. I'm not criticizing, but anyway, Nissan is second and Toyota third. And so what do you think? Toyota people are happy or unhappy or being on the third? Used to be number 1 and number 2 for so many years. Number 3, do you think Toyota people are very, very disappointed or discouraged? Any idea? Oh, okay. You have no Toyota friends, so that's fine. Okay, how much?
5 minutes.
Okay, so I like that third position because you can see very, very clearly what you need to do to attain, to get higher. How many minutes behind?
5 minutes left.
Oh, okay. 5 minutes left? Oh, okay. I am terrible in time management. Okay, let me give this one. And you see the Kaizen mind? Very often when you have a seed on your backyard, you just pick this up. However, you have to know that there is a root down there. And so 2 weeks later, if you just pick up all the weed, then 2 weeks later, this will come up. So you have to look at the root cause of the problem. You have to take a look at this root down there. This is larger and deeper. So you have to take this out. Otherwise, same thing is going to happen. What is this one? Oh. And the good news and bad news. As I said, bad news, same thing. No problem is problem, same thing. Bad news first is a keyword within Toyota because we make failure, we make mistakes. So boss is always welcome to receive bad news. And same thing. I like this one, you know. Michael Jordan said, see, I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Because we learn so many things out of failure, out of mistakes, out of problems. That is our history too. Toyota has been learning so many things and from failure. That's why top management will not, recommend us to fail. However, they recommend us to challenge something. And that is very, very important. If you don't challenge, of course, you don't make mistakes because you don't step out. But if you step out, so many things happen. You may fail, but it's okay because you challenge. That is very, very important attitude for and valued by Toyota, top management and middle management, all the people. And the developed people is, again, this is ranked on number 4, but actually this is the most important thing. Just like I said, boss is not giving, she gave the target, but she does not give how to attain the goal. It's leave it to him. Because he knows much better, and also it's most importantly, she can develop his ability by making him think about a better way to attain the goal. And this one is, in Japan, what he's doing, this father, is a father, he's checking, he's just fixing maybe a wall on weekends, and that is exactly what I saw when I was a small kid. My father, who is a high school teacher, and on weekend, he just worked so hard on the weekend in the backyard, and grow some vegetables, also fixing all the fences. So I've been wondering why my dad is working so hard while he wants to go fishing or something else, but because he wants to make us happy. And so I've been watching him so many years, and so maybe when I grow up, I want to be just like my father when I have a family. So I'm talking about a family. However, family and a company almost the same thing for Toyota people, because you spend more than 8 hours in the office, and just maybe 3 hours in your home. So you spend more time with your colleagues together than you spend your time with your family members. So it's just like we treat people like family members in the daytime. So your subordinates are always watching your back. And so that is our expression. Always people are watching your back more precisely, more carefully than you think they do. So it is so important the bosses should, always have the broader viewpoint, always care about people, even and always think about attaining the goal together, and all those things, they can feel it. Sometimes, you can talk with them and you can convey your intention, but even although you don't even talk about it, but your subordinate can sense it by the way you respond, by the way you work, by the way you talk, by the way you walk, by the way you come up to the office and look at you, and so they want to find out their boss is what he or she is thinking. So what I'm saying that bosses always, think about your subordinate, because just because subordinate works so hard, then boss's position is safe. Not safe, but it is okay, and it is secured. So you have to appreciate all the effort that which your subordinate is doing for the group, for the company, for you, for themselves. So this is the concept of us Toyota people, that always, okay, my subordinates are always watching me. And so I have to behave just like a good leader. And a good leader is a good listener, and a broader viewpoint, and down to earth, and all those things, very, very simple. As I said at the beginning, we don't have any secret, but the key secret is that good listener, listen to your subordinate, listen to your people very, very carefully, and work together. So not looking down, but being on the same level, and always try to be equal. And all those things are very, very simple, and no secret. However, within Toyota, we do that every single day. And so it's become just like air. We don't recognize that we are breathing the air, but the same thing. Those cultures are something like air. We don't think it's different, but we take it for granted that we do that every single day. It's become our second habit. Okay. Oh.
We'll take questions.